I spent the last 30 days eating nothing but zero processed foods. I know for a fact you've seen all the debates online about processed foods. You shouldn't eat processed foods. No, you should eat processed foods. There's nothing wrong with processed foods. So I thought it's time to put it to the test. And here are the rules for the challenge. I was allowed to eat a maximum of 3 meals, 200 grams of protein every single day, and zero processed foods, no artificial sweeteners, no Monster, no diet drinks, which for me is going to be a big challenge. And in this video, I'm going to run you through exactly what happened, giving my personal opinion on the benefits, the drawbacks, and if I would recommend eating zero processed foods or including processed foods in your diet. Running through how it affected my energy, how it affected my mood, how it affected my training, and my physique before and after. Now you're probably thinking, Jack, why are you doing this? Surely it's just gonna suck. Well, there's one thing you need to know about me. I used to be a slight processed food addict to the likes of energy drinks and soft drinks, where I'd be slamming 2 or 3 of these a day, which made this challenge about 47 times harder. But my energy was up and down like a roller coaster. My training wasn't exactly great. I was constantly dieting and relying on energy drinks when I was even eating 2,800 calories. And I thought to myself, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna completely flip the switch and try and go 30 days without any sort of energy drinks, any sort of soft drinks, no processed food at all. From the guy that built his brand around drinking energy drinks to going cold turkey. Like, what could go wrong? After the first few days, I thought this is just gonna be easy. Cutting out processed foods, even though I'd eaten them my entire life and I'd based my entire life off them, I still thought, this is gonna be easy. And for the first few days, it actually was. And just like going to the gym, the motivation started to fade. And I can't lie to you, the first week was tough. Going into the shop every other day and not picking up a Monster, which I have been doing for the past 2 or 3 years of my life. I think I might have actually had an addiction. Anyway, but as tough as the first week was, we managed to push through. And I'm starting to see a few little small results. In week 1, I lost 2 kilos, which in my head is absolutely mad. And I thought my energy levels had really started to level out, which to me is absolutely crazy. Because just 1 week in, I was really starting to see the benefits of this. And this is gonna sound absolutely mad, but just 1 week in, I just felt something just clicked. Heading into week 2 and 3, I was suffering from a whole different issue. One issue that I don't think I've ever faced in my entire life. Growing up, I've always been hungry, always constantly wanting food, never feeling satisfied with the food that I'm currently eating. But one thing since making the switch, especially it became very, very clear in week 2 and week 3, that I was actually getting full. And it was getting to the point, there's actually a day where I didn't want to eat my last meal, but I had to eat to get the calories in to make sure I wasn't losing a load of weight. And later on in the video, I'm actually going to run through and sit you down exactly what changes I made to my diet. Within the 30 days, I actually did a challenge inside of the challenge. I did a 0 carb day where I didn't eat a single carb for the entire day. That was the day where I couldn't actually finish the meals. Honestly, the lack of fiber. How these carnivore people can go out there, not have any sort of fiber, genuinely looking at my phone going, I type into my phone about lettuce, how many carbs are in lettuce, can I use carbs and I'm going 0 carb? Nope. Imagine telling me back in 2019, Jack, imagine telling him you'd be craving lettuce. Week 2, week 3, the cravings completely went. There was 0 cravings for any sort of food. I was really starting to see the benefits of pulling back from the 0 processed foods. This is when things really start to kick in, heading into week 4. And on week 4, we ran into another problem. For some reason, I don't know what was happening. I was just getting surrounded by too many women. I was just looking too good. I don't understand. Yeah, that's not true. So I'm gonna run you through quickly what I used to eat beforehand and now what I'm currently eating now. My diet wasn't actually that bad. It would be considered healthy in today's fitness industry compared to a lot of other people's. I would have been always on the likes of the oats. I would have had protein powder in there, carb-filled days, having over 200, 300 grams of carbs every single day. I'd be on the white rice, I'd be on the white potato. And what that was really doing is it was raising my blood sugar. It was raising my blood sugar a lot more. That's why I was getting them dips in energy throughout the day and going up and down, up and down. For breakfast, usually I would have oats, protein powder, banana with it, and some dark chocolate. Not actually too bad. That meal there first, and then I'd have like eggs and an apple, and then I'd have my after workout meal, which would have been, again, I would have gone with white potato and I would have gone with egg whites. Notice how this is very, very low fat. That's one thing I've definitely noticed cutting out the processed food. My diet's a lot higher in fats, and they're amazing for your regulating your hormone health. And then I'd finish off with some Greek yogurt and dark chocolate. That would be it. 2,500 calories. Doesn't sound like a lot of food. 4, maybe sometimes 5 meals, and I'd have usually have a squares bar before I trained with a Monster. You can see why I was always hungry, because if I run you through what my day was like today, what my day of eating looks like today is going to be, I woke up, waited about 2 or 3 hours before I had my first meal. That's eggs, 4 eggs, 4 pieces of sourdough, and then I would, before I trained, I'd have some quick digesting carbs. I'd have a banana and I had dates. Then trained with some coffee and dark chocolate in the coffee. Game changer, by the way, game changer. After training, 250 grams of beef mince, 450 grams of sweet potato. I had kiwi, apple, broccoli, and kimchi. And then for dinner, I'm gonna be having brown rice, chicken, 300 grams of chicken, on top with some peppers, onions, and probably some beetroot sauerkraut or kimchi. Now look at the difference. Look at the difference between the 2 days. Absolutely staggering food that I'm getting in there for 2,500 calories compared to the other day. So I'm now gonna run you through the exact benefits and my opinions on doing zero processed foods for 30 days. No monsters, no Diet Coke, nothing, no sweeteners, nothing for 30 days. And this is the verdict that I've come to. First of all, I'm gonna start with the benefits. Mood has been so much better. Energy has been a lot more consistent throughout the day. I used to have lots of dips with energy. And the biggest thing that I think I've seen is I'm eating more food and more calories and I'm losing weight. The biggest thing I've seen is I've dropped over 2 kilos and I'm eating 700 calories a day more, and that's only going up. Like last night, I dropped 0.4 kilos. I'm gonna have to up the calories again because I'm continuously losing too much weight. I'm not trying to focus on losing weight. I did this in a point of trying to fix my body, and I definitely think it's done that because I started the challenge at around 1,800 calories, holding on to fat, and I was like, well, the only way it's gonna go down is if I continue to drill it. But if I continue to drill it, I could just tell energy was gonna get zapped. There's gonna be nothing going on. And the maddest thing is, I'm actually the lightest that I've been in over 2 years, and I'm actually the strongest that I've been in the gym as well. I'm not even trying to lose weight. I didn't focus on fat loss. This isn't the reason why I did this challenge, to focus on fat loss, but it just has occurred, and my body is now working in such better fashion than it was a month ago. And it's very easy to say, oh, this changed my life. And I know everyone exaggerates when they say that, but even when I show you the before and afters at the end, there is a genuine world of difference in the 30 days. I was sending a lot, like 2 or 3 monsters a day, diet drinks straight into the gut. It was definitely disrupting my gut microbiome, which was then having an effect on my hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, 100%. There was definitely a load of changes. There was a time where I was genuinely on my diet for 2 weeks and then I'd binge for a day. Then I'd be on my diet for 2 weeks and binge for a day. And then I got to a point where I was still having to go over my calories and eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories after eating 2,800. And that's when I went, there's something seriously off here. So what are some of the swaps that I made straight away? One thing that I didn't do was completely override my complete life. What I did was start making small swaps. So I noticed that I was getting big, massive dips after eating them likes of foods like the white potatoes, like the white rice and the oats. So what I did is I swapped them for kind of a lower glycemic carb, the one that doesn't raise blood sugar as much. That usually means swapping from the white to the kind of wholemeal stuff. So I went from white bread to sourdough, I went from white potato to sweet potato, and I went from white rice to brown rice. And that was a massive difference for me for carb sources. I've definitely found my energy levels have been able to be maintained pretty decently across the day. Just to list out some of the foods that I am eating on a daily. My protein sources, I'll be having fish, eggs, beef mince, chicken, Greek yogurt are the main ones. In terms of, and kefir yogurt as well, I've been really focusing on increasing my fiber and increasing and getting my gut health in a very good place, having fermented food every single day. Kimchi, beetroot sauerkraut been amazing. Obviously getting broccoli and lettuce in every single day. My carb sources have completely switched. Rest days, I don't usually go with any carbs apart from berries in my yogurt. That's about it. I kind of go lower carb on rest day. And then on the training days, sourdough bread, sweet potatoes, brown rice, fruit as well, with banana, dates as well, added in, kiwi. Fat sources, a lot of it's just eggs. I've been pounding eggs, fish, omega-3s have been very, very good. I'm not really high on the nuts. I'm not a massive fan, but a lot of my fats have come from fish, and fish and eggs have been a huge one for me, and dark chocolate. But it is all well and good me running through all of the benefits, and I did see a lot of benefits, but I can see why this wouldn't be the best thing for every single person in the entire world. I did have social events and I was able to negate them, but I had to kind of go out my way to negate them, and I ended up getting a sirloin steak, and instead of getting the chips, which I probably usually would have got, especially if we're just going out for a family to enjoy some time with the family, I ended up just ordering the side salad because I was that dedicated to the cause. Where I was like, no, I'm sticking to this for the 30 days. When you do go to these social events and when you do you can sometimes feel a bit like an outsider and go, oh, like I felt a bit nervous. in front of my family asking, oh, can I get a side salad instead of getting chips and I would get abused. I'd get abused. And guess what? I did get abused, but I had to just take it on the chin and go, right, it's sweet, no worries. That was the only downside that I really saw. The changes going forward, mate, the changes going forward are gonna be absolutely massive for me. What I'm gonna be doing going forward, switching 90 to 95% is gonna be away from the processed foods. I don't think I'm gonna go back on Monster. I don't think I'll have a Diet Coke every now and then, and I will have a beer as well, every once in a while. I'm not like superhuman. I'm not gonna go to completely zero processing. I still want to enjoy my life, and I still want to enjoy that with the people around me as well, which is the most important thing for me. I'm gonna start living my life on the reason why I do things, not just what I'm doing. It's the reason why I'm doing it. It's gonna be most important for me. That's what's gonna make me happy. So now what you've all been waiting for, the before and after, what I looked like beforehand and what I looked like after. This is what I looked like before. So I was sitting at around 78.6. I didn't particularly like the way I looked. I wasn't feeling great. My training wasn't really on the money. I was eating around 1,800 calories. Like I said, a lot of my stuff was coming from them, like I said, processed foods. This is what I look like now on the right. That was me this morning, weighing around 76 on the button, eating around 2,500 calories on a training day, 2,300 calories on a rest day. As you can see, the difference is absolutely crazy to me, and I found this more crazy in terms of me personally in a mental kind of front and energy perspective. I'm not looking at these pictures and going, I want to look better, I want to look better. I want to feel better within myself. I want to try and be able to hold this condition and still be able to train well and still be able to eat well, which I haven't been able to do for a long time. Even just looking back at what I looked like last year, I'm not worried about that too much now because I'm now fixing kind of my health as opposed to really focusing on the fat loss. Plan forward is basically to continue doing this and building the calories back up to over 3,000 per day, where I'm maintaining that hopefully at around this kind of composition, maybe even a little bit leaner. But I am so glad that I actually did the experiment and did the 30 days because I know it sounds cliche and everyone says it, but I genuinely do think it has changed my life. It's opened my eyes to a change in my diet, felt a new lease of life where I've gone, oh, I actually can see a little bit more progress here. Oh my God, this is great. I've not seen progress for ages. I've just been stuck in this kind of cycle. And when you see kind of like the light and go, oh shit, and things are clicking together, you start getting excited again about training. You start getting excited again like you were when you first started in the gym. And it's been absolutely amazing for me. I would 100% recommend swapping out the processed food over time. You can do it one per week. You don't have to go completely cold turkey like I did because I know that is extreme. That's why I did it for a YouTube video. I did it for a challenge. It's extreme. What I would do is week on week, I'd start off with the carb sources and just swap them. That'd be the first thing I'd do. Look into your fiber sources. I'd add 10 grams. Just making them changes there, you will notice a massive change in terms of your energy, in terms of kind of your mood, even your hunger levels. You're gonna really get in control of your blood sugar again, and you're gonna feel a lot more control of your bodies. If you're someone that felt the exact same as me, do not hesitate to find me a message. I'm more than happy to talk into a lot more detail, kind of what I've done, and I'm more than happy to help people out that have been in the same situation because I know how frustrating it actually can be firsthand. If you could do me one massive favor, if you could please like and subscribe. Last few videos have been doing very well, and honestly, I've been very happy with them, and I want to continue making them, and I want to continue helping more people on a bigger scale. So if you could, that would be absolutely amazing. Until next time, I'll see you later.